Well, crazy thing is, Hope and I have known of each other since middle school. So you're talking, I was 11, she was 12.
Wow.
And so we lived literally like 5 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
There was like one street that kind of where our houses were. I was on one side of the other. So we went to different elementary schools, but we went to the same middle and high school.
Wow.
Middle school, she said she had no clue who I was. I knew who she was. Which still surprises me.
Look at what you pulling out that hair.
Yeah. But
I was to myself. I really wasn't out.
she did date like one guy that I was like
Gallivanting.
we
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
yeah
I
we
wasn't
there
out
was
there
one
like
guy
that.
that she dated that we ran track together. So
I was about to say,
that was
Yeah.
kind of how I knew. And then we had the same circle of friends, but we never actually like met or talked to each other in middle school. High school, she's a year older, and so her 10th grade year, my 9th grade year, we actually had theater class together.
Hold on, but can we go back? Kind of similar to you guys. When we were kids, we went to the same church, but we never knew
That's
of each
true.
other.
So y'all was
Yeah.
around each other.
But we were
all
around
your
like in
lives.
passing.
Yeah.
You have memories of seeing him then?
No, I don't. We just
No,
know
because I never went to children's church.
I was always in
She was
children's
always
church.
in church. I
he tried
I
to be
wanted to
grown.
stay.
She church, she a church.
Yeah.
I wanted to
Trying
stay.
to be grown.
I stay here. I
These
was,
little bad kids
Yeah.
outside running the neighborhood. You need to be in church.
I stayed at the big sanctuary with my mama.
The big
and-
sanctuary.
Yeah,
I was
big
in the
That's when you know you're a church
Yeah,
kid.
and I was in the little sanctuary.
No, we used to go to big church.
The big church. It was big church. I was in big church. So yeah, we did. And then eventually I ended up going to a different church.
Yeah.
But yeah, high school, my 9th grade or 10th grade, we had a theater class together. So that's how we like officially met. And it was literally through that, you used to go in a circle and everybody had to say their name and a fun fact about them. And she always would say I was this loud, obnoxious kid
He was.
that I said my name. Meanwhile, she was the real soft-spoken.
He was the type. He was like, "Hey, yo, my name's Kadero. You know what I'm saying?
the
Number
hand.
22, deuce, deuce. You know what
Deuce,
I'm saying? All of that stuff.
Did I really do all this?
You had your jersey on that
I
day.
did.
Look at the
It was-
thumbs.
it
How
was-
That's
strong
what
they
I'm
are.
saying.
It
Deuce,
was
deuce.
Friday. It was Thursday. We had football game, JV football.
Yeah.
And so I had my jersey on. You had
He
your
was feeling
cheerleading
himself.
outfit. And I was
Okay.
like,
But I
yo,
ain't-
Come on,
Kadero
cheerleader.
Watson.
You
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I wish we was that type of cheerleader. We wasn't that
Yeah.
type. We were.
No. Yeah.
Ready?
we was-
Okay. Okay, got you. I'm tracking now.
Yeah.
I'm tracking.
But kind of how we knew each other. We never was like, we didn't hang out much.
Yeah.
But it was funny because she had a stalker, like a legit like person. Like one day, like was told her how she looked nice in what she was wearing,
It was
and
a
it
Sunday.
was a Sunday.
We
so,
didn't have
like,
school. So how did you see me,
So
sir?
how did you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So there was one day we were in the bus loop going, like leaving to go home, and she's on the bus, and he's like in front of her bus, like kind of like trying to holler and talk to her, and he wanted to take her to the homecoming dance. And I can see him.
And this is high school?
This is high school.
Got you.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
high school. And so I'm coming down out of the school and I'm about to walk to my bus and I like see them. And I like, she just looks distressed. Like this dude is bothering me. And I remember coming up and I like wrapped my hand around him. And I knew him, like we played ball together. So me and him had known each other since like we were probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Because we played football together. And I was like, hey, bro, like she can't go with you. And he was like, why not? I was like, well, because she's going with me. And she
This
was
sounds like a
like,
TV show of the 90s.
Don't it?
They do.
and so she was like, yeah, I'm gonna go with him. Meanwhile,
to
she's
escape
like,
him.
we didn't we didn't
We
really
saw each
talk.
other, but we didn't talk.
We didn't talk like that. But,
But
she was
he
like,
was an escape.
I was her
Out
escape.
from this
Come
guy.
on, the
Yeah.
first time he became your escape.
I
Yeah,
was superhero. You know what I mean? I was a Superman from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right?
I think he's stretching a little bit. I think he's
Come on,
stretching just a
superhero.
little bit.
So we decided, okay, we're gonna go to the homecoming together. But
Yeah.
in between that time, this is probably like September. October is usually when everything happened.
Yeah.
She gets a boyfriend.
Wait a minute.
Why
Wait a minute,
y'all
wait.
supposed to be going to...
Okay. Let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
So the dude asked me out. We 14, 15 years old. You know, things had really been
I understand.
back then.
I
And
overstand.
I was like, he asked me out, and I was like, because at this point we weren't really like talking, like we
No.
didn't really know each other, But we agreed that we go to homecoming together. But I still had my own life. Like, okay, we gonna go to this little dance. You know what I'm saying? Together. But I was like, well, I'm going to homecoming with somebody else. But if you still want to go out, then cool. He was like, yeah, all right, fine. So we ended up going.
They was dating. We still went out.
It was only about a week.
It was about 2
and a
weeks.
half.
But they was dating while we went to the homecoming dance. And so while
wait.
they was dating, we went to homecoming.
So what
together.
old boy feel like knowing that you was going?
Well,
he
before,
said he was good.
He said he was good because I told him, I said, well, we can go out, but I have a date to homecoming already.
Okay.
And he was cool with that.
And we just cool. It's
At
not
this
like
point, we were just friends. Like,
just
it wasn't
friends.
anything like we were trying to do nothing.
But if you would have saw my man at the dance,
I mean,
he had big problems.
Was he like Mexican restaurant cheese salty?
Like we had columns.
You know,
in our
tortillas be real
cafeteria.
salty.
Yeah, they do.
Depending on
My
what they
man
did.
would stand behind the column and be like this.
He was lurking, y'all.
So was he by him? He didn't have a date.
He didn't have a date. He came by and he would just.
So my man
he
is
would be
peekabooing behind the pillar.
peekaboo from the
Peekaboo
pillars,
behind
watching us, watching our every move.
I mean, I think I literally felt like his breath on my neck at one point. I was like,
there was one. I think I let him dance with you at one point.
Y'all
At
saw
one
that?
point, just being nice.
I honestly was the person that, like, I didn't say no to date. Like, I felt like I didn't want to hurt people's feelings. So I was like, okay, sure.
Yo,
That's the same way we
hilarious.
ended up together. Okay, sure.
Dang. Is that how?
Because
Is that how she
kinda
responded
was.
when you proposed? I mean, okay,
Okay,
sure.
Okay, sure.
I'll take your little hand in marriage.
That's how man. Now I think about it, I'm trying to think.
I
I see.
no, I didn't say
No.
that.
So they break up. Then we start
A
dating.
week and a half later.
Yeah, like a week and a half later, we start dating. We probably dated for about like a month or two.
That was long.
And that was long. Yeah. Then it came to this thing. I get a rumor that there's this other
Not a
guy.
rumor.
Now, let me say this. I was probably not Hope's type, right? In ninth grade, I'm probably about 5'7", 140 pounds, soaking wet, skinny. If that. Skinny dude.
She had to add.
She had that. Hope's type was the basketball, the 6'3", 6'4" brothers, little meat on them.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was this brother that, had the dread, the braids like Allen Iverson.
Oh, he had the Iverson
Yeah,
braids.
he had the Iverson braids, little, that she wanted to date. And so she pretty much breaks it off with me.
Are you?
Sweet,
Oh,
try to
Kadero,
nicely.
no, we have agreed. See, now you
Oh,
going back on the
you
story.
breaching the contract,
You breaching the
brother.
contract. See, because what he's not telling you is
Okay.
that there was this cheerleader that I used to cheer with that he was obsessed with.
Okay.
Obsessed?
And the thing
It's
is, she
little-
didn't give him the time of day. So,
She didn't give me the time of day.
no, you
So now
broke
we
up
have to
with
speak.
me to try to attempt a relationship
You know
with
what?
her.
This sounds familiar.
And then there was,
You heard
This
story?
sounds familiar.
yeah, you probably heard it. It's on socials.
It's
Fine.
on socials.
And-
There's the
and
agreement,
then,
ladies and gentlemen.
Really,
It's on there.
his feelings was hurt because he broke it off with me to try to pursue her, and she didn't want him.
Is that right?
Did she want you?
Is that right?
She did not want it.
Oh Lord.
She
Just
did not.
saying.
And so because of that,
So we mutually decided that we
departure
were
we
going to
had.
see
Okay,
other
that
people.
is a different story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we mutually departed
decided, yep.
from each other, and we probably didn't talk. We saw each other, but and said
It
hi,
was like
and that
a
was
hello,
about it
yeah.
for the next year and a half.
Okay.
I had started dating this other girl from church I was going to. You don't have to do all that. You ain't gotta do all that. She was a little. She had her moments too.
Okay.
What does that mean, Kadero?
She slashed her tire one time.
Your tires?
The girl slash your tires?
Shit.
I wasn't going to say anything, but Kadero didn't already. We here now, so.
Let me tell you something. If you're watching, if you slash my sister's tire, you still owe her some money. I need you to run her little check.
Run me my little check.
Let's make sure we put your cash up
Right.
on the screen at this time.
Let's put a cash
When
up.
we edit this.
Oh, Lord.
Hilarious.
Yeah, she was a little interesting.
She was the, but I got past that. We was young.
Oh, now he brushing over.
Yeah,
the
I'm
That's
brushing
fine.
over
That's
the
fine.
details of
That's
that one.
fine. Uh-huh.
My junior year, her senior year, one of my good friends, her best friend wanted to go to prom together.
Mm-hmm.
We hooked them up,
Okay.
and that's kind of how we started talking again. And it was again just at least just chatting up. But then she graduated, kind of went about her way. I'm starting my senior year. At this point, I'm cooling it. Like I'm like senior year, I'm going to college. I ain't messing with no. I ain't trying to get like locked down for nothing. Like I'm gonna have friends. That's was my thing. Like I was that guy.
Friends.
Right.
I was that guy. Like
have them.
yeah, I was that guy. Like if you was in the cafeteria and it was a group of girls, I was probably in the middle, like everybody's
Same thing.
friend. So I was just
He's
that.
everybody's friend.
I was just the
And
friend.
this is what I put on my cape. And I said, let me save this little child here. So that's when I called him.
She put a cape.
Yeah,
Captain
he
Save 'em.
had his. Yeah, you had your little cape on. So I put my little cape
Oh, it
on.
was your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn to put on the
Yeah,
cape.
yeah.
So I called him up and I was like, hey, you want to grab lunch, whatever. Let's
Hold
go.
on. See how she tried to turn it as a cape. Meanwhile, we ain't talking that much. It's summertime. You're already graduated. I'm going into my senior year, and all of a sudden you call me up. Oh, you just happen to have my number? You remember my number?
Ooh.
When God
Asking
has
me
a
out.
purpose,
Oh.
he will download.
Oh.
Oh, we
Come on, purpose
bringing
talk.
God in here, huh? Bringing God and purpose into
Huh?
it. All right.
Anyways, okay, so I dialed his little number. I said, you want to go?
Oh, got a little number.
Yes. Little
I said,
number.
you want to go to lunch? So we went to lunch, and we started talking a lot more. I was over his house almost all the time during the summer
Okay.
before college.
Now, was we holy?
No. Let's.
In the summer of 2004,
You,
Let's
you
just
already
say-
gave me my answer. Finish the
The fact
story.
you had to do all that.
Right. All that circling
Well,
around.
if you subtract the two
Right.
and carry the one.
Look, we had many times that we went to that salvation line at the end of church, and we was like, Lord, forgive us.
Salvation
I mean,
line.
I felt like I had to repent a lot.
rededicating.
Rededicate. Yeah.
I was already saved, but we had to go to the
I
rededication
know about the
line.
rededications Sundays.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's facts.
So,
That's facts. So we started dating, officially like dating, 2005, April 2005. Yep. And so we've been rocking ever since. And then I ended up like leaving. So like majority of our relationship was long distance. Like our dating relation was long distance because I was in college in Pennsylvania and she was in Virginia. But she used to make that trek up to Pennsylvania to try to see me like every weekend. We was just talking about the other day, like she would get on the Greyhound bus.
Come on, Greyhound.
And,
That's
and
love.
just
Not the Greyhound,
There-
boy.
Yeah.
I've been on them Greyhound buses, boy.
she used to get on the Greyhound
Oh my
to come
God.
see me. So there was a moment where like for me it was like, man, this girl is she the real deal.
So that's when you knew that she was.
It was that, and then the real moment is when I hurt my knee in my freshman year of college. And she came up and like just took care of me. Like she was going out in like the freezing cold, going to get food. She had to go get my medication. Like
I
she
took
was
it out. How I'm
taking.
gonna get there? I took the bus. I ain't got no way. So we call his little football buddies. Who got a car?
Why is everybody little?
Because now I done hopped on the little train.
We on the little train now. That's what it is. Everything little.
Yeah. So one of your teammates actually
Yeah,
took me
so
to the drugstore. to get
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. And so like she took, and that was one of the moments I was like, yeah, as what, 18, 19, like, yo, this girl's, she's the real deal. Like, I don't
Wow.
think I want to do life without her. While I said that, and I'm thinking that there were times where in college, it was college and it was still me acting a fool. And at that time, that's when Facebook and all them first came out. And most of the time I was sitting up on Facebook
Just posting.
posting
Other people
or other
posting.
people posting, and
I
here
said,
I
let me
am.
dial this number as I see this picture.
Wow.
I said,
Oh, now,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
you saw a picture.
yeah, I saw a picture. I said, let me dial his number. Kadero, what you doing up there?
Oh,
'Cause I'm in the
she
picture
saw
like,
the evidence.
Post
hey,
it.
hey.
Mouth open, tongue out. I said, my God. Like looking back, I'm like, okay, I get it. Like there's still that respect factor that I wanted.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, too, it was like, okay, he's 19 in college. Like
Yeah.
fact.
something was bound to.
But I took a trip around the world as well. My junior year, I studied abroad and went around. And when I came back, that was a moment. Like I think there was a moment of like, yeah, like.
Where'd you study?
So it was called Semester at Sea, and you actually lived on a cruise ship for 3 months, and you go to 12 different countries.
You know, he don't do ships.
Let me tell you
You
what my
lost
dad.
them right
Yeah.
there.
Hey, let me tell you what my dad used to say. I like my water in a glass. That's about it.
Yeah. So there was a
3
lot
months
of praying
on
going
water.
on.
3 months on water.
Brother went to carnival.
Went to carnival in Brazil.
There was
What were they
things
doing?
Shimmy, shimmy.
They had a lot less than I got on right now. Yeah.
things were seen, but I came back.
Things
See
we've
it?
seen.
Things were seen.
Yeah.
Things were done. That we
Yeah.
can get into on other episodes. But I
Yes,
think
Yes.
most definitely.
I came back and knew like, yo, like it was time to get right.
Yeah.
And I actually bought the ring for her while I was away.
Okay.
And so it was a moment where we had like a church service that our pastor talking about like refresh, renew, and we talking about renewing our relationship. We was gonna renew it, and that's what I kind of proposed. And I actually proposed in the same spot that I asked her to be my girlfriend, and it was just in front of my mailbox. Because we always hung out at my house, so it was in front of my mailbox. And
Did you get down on one knee?
I
And do the whole
did.
thing?
I did. I actually gave her a promise ring our first year dating. And I act like I was taking that to clean it. And then when I was representing the promise ring after I cleaned it, it was actually the engagement ring. Wow. And she said she didn't even say anything. So it did take a while to get the yes, actually. She didn't say. It was more because she was crying and she was shocked.
Crying, you know.
And I was like, well, but
brother was like, but
brother was like, what?
He's like, well, what is this?
Well, we said yes. So we've been rocking. We'll be 15 years in June.
Meet me at the altar.